Hello everyone and welcome to another Logic Update video. This time we're going to be covering the changes in the Ocarina of Time Randomizer as the devs will be releasing 4.0 very shortly. Now that that's out of the way, let's take a look at the changes. A special note, these are all changes from the main 3.0 build, so if you have been playing on the dev build, you may already be aware of some of these changes. So let's begin with some new features. One of the new features in 4.0 is the ability to use the D-pad to quick equip items. Using the D-pad, you're able to equip and unequip iron boots, hover boots, and use the ocarina. All freestanding item locations now display the model of the item you will receive. Ice traps will now work from any location. If it's a freestanding ice trap, however, it will appear as a random major item. And if they're in shops, they will appear as a random item with the name being misspelled. One of my favorite changes is the gold Skulltula text boxes will now display the amount of Skulltula tokens you have when obtaining them. As well as the Poe salesman will now tell you the point limit needed without actually needing to sell a Poe. There's also been a few changes added to speed up the game. Some noticeable ones are Link's ability to fast push or pull any type of block, mirror, etc. The devs have removed the cutscene from when Talon runs away at the castle, as well as the Caught by Gerudo cutscene. The cutscene when getting the bullet bag from the Deku Scrub in the Lost Woods has also been shortened, and the Ocarina minigame is shortened to only 5 notes of the first round. When picking up Ruto in Jabu's belly, the elevator now spawns near the bottom, so you no longer have to wait for it to come down. The Kakariko Carpenter position is offset, so he's no longer in your way during the Kuko route, and warp songs also now have the normal transition with no cutscene. Now, let's take a look at the new options added in the 4.0 UI. There is now a Master Quest dungeon slider. You can select a number of Master Quest dungeons to appear in the game. For example, if you select 0, all of the dungeons will have their default designs. If you select 6, then half of the dungeons will have the Master Quest redesigns and half of them will still be their default. And if you select 12, for instance, all dungeons will have the Master Quest redesigns. A damage multiplier option has been added to the UI, which changes the amount of damage taken. Please note, if you select Oko, Link will die in one hit. There is now an item pool setting in the UI. This replaces difficulty and changes the number of bonus items that are available in the game. For example, if you select Plentiful, extra major items have been added to the pool. And if you select Balanced, this is the original item pool. If you select Scarce, some excess items are removed, including health upgrades, and Minimal has most excess items removed. Another option to start with the Deku equipment has also been added to the UI. This will allow the player to begin the game with 10 Deku Sticks and 20 Deku Nuts. If playing without Shop Sanity, the player also begins with the Deku Shield equipped. Another new option in the UI is starting with Max Rupees. This will allow the player to begin the game with 99 rupees. However, there is also the option to start with the Tycoon wallet, and if you select to start with the Tycoon wallet as well as starting with Max Rupees, instead of starting with 99 rupees, you will start with 999 rupees. So keep that in mind. Another new option, Start with Fast Travel, has been added to the UI. The player will begin the game with Prelude of Light and Serenade of Water songs learned, and Furor's Wind spell in their inventory. These 3 items increase Link's mobility around the map, but don't actually unlock any new items or areas. Included with Open Forest, Open Door of Time, and Open Gate, a new option, Open Zora's Fountain, has been added in 4.0. In this instance, King Zora is moved to the side from the start of the game, and Ruto's letter is removed from the item pool and replaced with an empty bottle. If you've ever started up the game and thought, man, I wish I could start this at a different time so that I could get all the Skulltula tokens from Kokiri Forest, well then, this new setting, randomized starting time of day, is for you. You can either select a specific time of day, like morning or twilight, or you can select random. A new ice trap setting has been added to the game. You can select off, where all the ice traps are removed. Normal, which is where only ice traps from the base pool are placed. Extra ice traps, with a chance to add an extra ice trap when junk items are added to the pool. Ice Trap Mayhem, where all junk items added will be ice traps. And Ice Trap Onslaught, where all junk items will be ice traps, including the ones in the base pool. There's been some additional sound effects options added. I suggest going with completely random, as you never know what you're gonna get. And there's some really good ones in there. Some new cosmetics has been added, including the option to set sword trail colors. You can set the length of the trail, as well as the inner and outer colors. You can also set the color to rainbow, which will periodically change the sword trail to a different color. So now that we've talked about the new options added in 4.0, let's talk about the updated features and options. One of the updated features is hint distribution. This changes how many useful hints are available in the game. Useless has nothing but junk hints. Strong distribution has some duplicate hints and no junk hints. Very strong distribution has only very useful hints, and tournament distribution is similar to strong, but with no variation in hint types. The Frog Ocarina game has been added to always requiring hints, and hints are only in logic once you are able to reach the location of the Gossip Stone by logic. A foolish choice hint has been added to the game, and regions that are a foolish choice will not have any required items no matter which route in the game is taken. The Big Po location does not require a hint if the count is set to 3 Po's or less. Medallion icons have been added to the Temple of Time altar hint, and added a hint for 0 out of 6 trials if trial count is random. The option chest sizes matches contents has been updated to include all chests in the game. Boss keys under this category will be in large gold chests, and small keys will appear in small gold chests. The free Scarecrow song has been changed so that if you pull out your ocarina near where Pierre will spawn, he will automatically do so. There's now a new option for spawning the bridge to Ganon's castle. Spiritual stones have been added as a bridge requirement, as well as the option for 100 gold Skulltula tokens. Any location can now be excluded from being required. Various advanced tricks have been split into individual tricks to be selected. And you can now choose the sound effects the ocarina uses when it's played. Numerous bug fixes have been implemented into 4.0, including the Deku and Hylian shields from chests no longer become blue rupees. The devs have now forced the game language to be English even if a Japanese ROM is supplied. The Door of Time now opens whenever entering Temple of Time from any spawn. The empty bomb glitch, where if you let a bomb explode in your hands under certain conditions, the bomb wouldn't be properly removed in the memory, which would then put Link into a weird state. If you then try to receive an item from some NPCs, you would get nothing, and it would still be flagged as if it was collected, so you would lose the item forever. This glitch has been fixed in 4.0. The devs have fixed the message text table is too long error when using settings that add a lot of text to the ROM. Kokiri Sword is no longer required for fishing as a child. The Begoron collection delay bug was fixed, but other forms of the collection delay still exist, such as at the Temple of Time. Twinrova Phase 2 text box soft lock has been fixed. Switches in the Forest Temple and Fire Temple have been lowered by 1 unit to make it easier to press them. Equipment menu will now show the name of the item you have in the first column. Hover boots will no longer show up as an adult in the first equipment slot if a slingshot was not received before becoming an adult. Ammo items now use the correct item fanfare. The devs have removed key for key logic. And they've also removed an unused locked door in the Water Temple. Scarecrow's song should no longer cause soft locks when played in laggy areas such as Lake Hylia. Text error messages no longer display the pocket egg text. Ice traps added back to Oko as the soft lock appears to be fixed. Ganon now says my castle instead of Ganon's castle for light arrow hint. And other various typos in text, like Gerudo's Fortress, Zora's River, and Red Rupee, have been fixed. Ganon's Tower is now permanently referred to as Ganon's Castle. Dampé's Gravedigging reward correctly flags collection upon pickup. Castle Moat Bridge no longer closes when playing Zelda's escape cutscene, and various logic fixes have also been implemented. Now let's talk about multi-world changes. The maximum player count has been increased from 31 to 255 players. Ice traps can now be sent to other worlds. Ganon now tells you the locations of your light arrows and not the location of some light arrows that may exist in your world. Item placement rebalanced so that an item for another player can only be placed on a location that both players can reach in logic. Now let's talk about some of the miscellaneous and back-end changes. The patch from ROM file option applies a generated patch file to the base ROM and creates a randomizer ROM. This also allows sharing a seed without sharing copyright protected materials. There is a functionality called Settings Preset, which allows you to save settings strings for future use. Several presets are already provided. A settings log will be created if the spoiler log is disabled. Python 3.5 is no longer supported. You must have Python 3.6 or higher installed to run the randomizer code. Various other technical and development changes have been added. If you'd like a full list of these changes, there will be a link in the description below. I'd like to thank everyone so much for watching. If you wish to see more Logic Update videos in the future, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much again. See you next video!